Tyler Manion reveals how Derek Lunsford won the posing battle 5-3 against Hadi Choopan at the 2025 Mr. Olympia. The 2025 Mr. Olympia was an extremely close competition, prompting IFBB Pro League Vice President Tyler Manion to analyze the results. On October 15, he explained why Derek Lunsford beat Hadi Choopan 5-3 on stage. In the final, it was a four-way showdown. Samson Dauda, Derek Lunsford, Hadi Choopan, and Andrew Jacked all battled it out for the sport's ultimate title. However, as the show progressed, Lunsford and Choopan separated themselves from the pack and clearly placed in the top two. When the scorecards were revealed, Lunsford etched his name in history, joining Jay Cutler as the second bodybuilder to reclaim the Mr. Olympia title after losing it. With bodybuilders pointing to Choopan or Jacked as the rightful winner, Manion sheds light on Lunsford's latest achievement. Tyler Manion breaks down Mr. Olympia 2025 results, Derek Lunsford vs. Hadi Choopan. Front double biceps, Derek Lunsford. Although his biceps are less defined than Choopan's, Manion justified this pose to Lunsford, emphasizing his taper and the width of his legs. In the front double biceps, for Derek, obviously, he has a great taper, a nice small waist. For Derek, his legs were definitely bigger. He definitely kept his leg size for this show. You see nice deep lines in the separation between his legs. You see good leg width from the front, and he just kept more volume in his legs. A weakness of Derek in this pose is that the inside of his arms don't really have a lot of detail, and obviously, he doesn't really have a bicep peak. Choopan also has a nice figure and a small waist, but Manion said her legs lack the volume displayed by Lunsford. A really nice taper into a nice small waist, on Choopan, flared lats. Hadi is very, very conditioned. You go down to the lower body and the legs are very conditioned, but you see the legs are definitely not the same size as Derek. Forward lateral spread, Derek Lunsford. Manion gave Lunsford the front side gap, while acknowledging that it's not the strongest pose for either of the top two. For both of these guys, I don't think this is their strongest pose, he said. First of all, with Derek, you can see that the size and detail on his outside arms are much better than what his inside arm looks like when it's raised for the front double. He had good volume and cap all the way down to his delts. On the chest, his chest lacks striations and detail. Hadi's shoulders are a little flat. You can see the shape of the shoulders here, it's just not the same as Derek's. Side box, Derek Lunsford. Manion believed Lunsford's width and stronger shoulders helped him win the side chest pose. Whenever they're in these side poses, they look very, very strong. Again, I think Derek's shoulder is better than Hadi's. Derek's outer arm has more volume and roundness. Hadi has more of a peak in his biceps. Rear double biceps, Derek Lunsford. He believes Lunsford got the double rear biceps since his back has more density than Choopan's. Hadi's back itself compared to Derek, Hadi's back has a good width, doesn't quite match Derek's width, but the real difference here is the density of the back, Manion explained. Side background, Hadi Choopan. Next, the side background went to Choopan, with Manion citing its superior thickness, density, and detail over Lunsford. His triceps, his rear delts, everything looks solid here, but the back itself, Lunsford, doesn't open it up to display the width that he obviously has. Hadi, on the other hand, does a really, really good job of opening his back completely so you can see the thickness, density, and detail throughout his back. Lateral triceps, Derek Lunsford. In the lateral triceps, he had Lunsford ahead thanks to his size and lower body thickness. For me, in this pose, again, because of the lower body advantage, the overall size, thickness, and roundness, I gave his pose to Derek to make it 5-1. Abs and thighs, Hadi Choopan. He argued that Choopan had clearly gained abs and thighs, which have long been one of his strongest poses. Overall, just the flow of the pose and the conditioning that is highlighted, especially in the midsection, I thought it was a clear pose for Hadi. The most muscular, Hadi Choopan. Although Lunsford brought up this pose, Manion still thought Choopan comfortably won the most muscular pose. The overall finish and fluidity of this pose is very difficult to take away from Hadi, and I thought it was a clear pose for Hadi to do 5 poses against 3. Final score, Lunsford beats Choopan 5-3. Over $2 million was awarded to competitors throughout this historic Mr. Olympia weekend. Lunsford took home a whopping $600,000, making him the first bodybuilder to raise over $1 million in competition earnings in a single year. Manian emphasized that this competition is close and that there is a valid defense for Choopan's victory. Do you agree with his assessment of the 2025 Mr. Olympia?